Good morning, sixth grade. It's Mr. McCaffrey, your counselor. It was, what's the word, inspiring to see all the students in the building yesterday. It really was. To see, even though we couldn't see your smile, we knew a lot of you were smiling. And it's just to have you in the building, to know that we're all back into a learning environment. And it's where we need to be during this time. We need to be able to learn from teachers and grow and expand as students. So yesterday was such a great day. I know I went home, I felt good, I felt positive. Hopefully you students, you understood that, we're here to work and learn, and we're going to be teaching you more things than just schoolwork. And that's part of what these Wellness Wednesdays are about. So we'll be doing another second step lesson today. We're going to continue with bullying. And I know it's a little earlier than usual when we have these because of the new schedule, but I really want everyone to kind of take their time, take some deep breaths, and contribute to this conversation, because these are very important conversations. Your teachers have given me a lot of feedback. Your teachers have talked about how active you students were in the discussions, and they were impressed. They were impressed with, your opinions on what bullying looks like and how it's going on and where we can see it. And we want to continue that. We want to continue the conversation so we can learn. We don't know everything you're going through as a student. We don't know all the different kind of ways people can affect you. So we think we know a lot of them, but let's be honest, you students, there's always a new thing popping up, whether it's a TikTok or a Snapchat, that, it can be harmful and hurtful. So we want to know about some of these experiences you've had so we can learn and we can adjust on how to get through it into a positive way. That's our goal. So please, students, continue to contribute, continue to have discussions with teachers, so that we can learn. But before we get into it, I just want to address the background. And I learned about this place from Miss Seibert, your sixth grade principal. And I really, really want to visit there. And it's called Banff, Canada. So it's close to the United States. I think it's right on the border. It's kind of a stretch of area where there's a lot of mountains and a lot of areas to go out and hike and camp and bike. And that's something that I've kind of gotten into the past couple years, is exploring nature, and just a way to kind of disconnect, because I think students, you understand how often we're on our phones and how much that takes our attention. So anytime for me, when there's a break from school, summer vacation's a big one, I like to do my best to try and get out, just to kind of, exercise, but also get out into the wilderness and disconnect from all the technology we got going on. So this is a view of Banff, Canada. You can see there's this huge mountain right there on the road. We don't get that in Atlanta, which is where I'm from. So being able to see that in person is just a new experience that, I enjoy. And, I hope everyone can take some time to appreciate and understand how amazing nature is. We only have one Earth. We only got one. And there's some amazing things on it that I think we all should be willing to explore as we get older. And students, when you grow up, you'll have the ability to kind of travel a little more. This one, it would take a while to drive to, but you can drive to it. So I like that about it. Take a little road trip and have some fun. So let's get into the lesson. I will share my screen. There is a video in this lesson, so I will turn on my computer sound. I'm having a little trouble if I go here. Okay. Now here's the issue. There we go. Okay, students. So we're going to start out with recognizing bullying. All right, so in this lesson, we will learn about how being bullied affects people and how to tell the difference between being bullied and joking around. And there is a big difference. And a lot of times it has to do with, if you're friends or if you have a mutual respect for each other, but we'll get into that further in the lesson. All right, so here's an example. And teachers, I'll read it, and then I guess you can pause and have a little input or discussion from students. Then I'll show the definition, and then we'll continue on. So warm up. Micah is constantly making jokes about Jaren and everybody laughs, including Jaren. Do you think Micah is trying to hurt Jaren on purpose? Do you think the jokes actually hurt Jaren's feelings? So you can pause to have a discussion. Okay, now this one's a tough one because we see the word constantly, which immediately thinks it's repetitive, which is a big part of bullying. Sorry, I was listening to the announcements. So let's go into the definition. So bullying is behavior that's intentional, is aggressive in a physical, verbal, or social way. It's often repeated. Typically occurs when there's a real perceived power imbalance. All right, so let me move this. All right, so let's watch this video. I believe you should be able to hear it since I clicked the computer with sound.
And the girls
just
difficult class
about
feeling like
social people are going like
so they
on one hand.
Bullying was difficult for me because I didn't know how to process it. I didn't know who to go to. I didn't know what to do. So I would like result into bad thoughts and bad actions.
I talked to him about why it's taken him so long to tell somebody. And he said because he didn't know how, and he was scared that if he told somebody, he was going to get bullied more.
She tried to ignore him, and that didn't work. It got to the point where she didn't want to attend class anymore because she just didn't want to face him.
I was always like scared to go to school because I felt like if this kept going on, my friends wouldn't think I was cool anymore, and I was scared of being ostracized by my peers.
All right, students. So just so you see, bullying, it can happen to anybody. It really can. And all it takes is one very negative, mean person to target someone and then make their life very difficult. And that's another reason why the counselors are here, to help both sides of that, both the bully and the student, the victim, understand there's a more positive way to get through this. Whether you're being affected by it or you're doing it, there's another approach to your daily living that's more positive and can help everybody. So class discussion, how did being bullied affect the students in the video? So you can talk about both the video and, maybe your friends, or you've been in a situation. You could talk about how you felt after being bullied. And it's typically a very negative feeling, but we want to hear from you. So you pause me, teachers, and we come back. I will read the examples. All right, so here's some examples that we can discuss real quick or have some feedback. So while in class one day, Zach tells everyone about Mariah's crush on the star of a new vampire TV show, and the whole class laughs at her. Is this an example of bullying or joking around? Explain. And what effect do you think it will have on Mariah? All right, class, have a little discussion. And when you come back, I'll reveal the answer. All right, so we don't know if this is bullying or joking around because we don't have enough information. It's not a nice thing to do, though. Mariah might feel embarrassed. So that's all very true. We don't know the relationship between Mariah and Zach. For all we know, Zach and Mariah could be siblings, which still might not make it okay to embarrass her. But there is a lot of details, kind of, background information that can help us with this. But I think it could go either way, just depending on the relationship, which goes into a lot when a student has a situation at school. We try to get an understanding of things that might have happened in the past, because it's not always just one day, one thing. Sometimes it is. Sometimes, student comes in with a new haircut and it's a very tough day for them. I've had students 6th, 7th, and 8th grade in my office who very upset because of things students said from their haircut. So, you know, it just depends on the situation and relationships. And we don't want students making fun of someone for a haircut, but also understand when someone comes in with something new, sometimes people make comments. And sometimes you have to just roll with it because you know, A, your hair is going to grow back, and B, they're just making comments. So situations can make all the difference, and we can help get you students through all types of situations. So let's go to the next one. Okay, so every day in class, takes John's phone and passes it to her friend. They eventually give it back, but not until John threatens to tell. Is this an example of bullying or joking around? Explain. What effect do you think it will have on John? Okay, y'all can discuss and then I'll reveal the answer. Okay, here we go. This is bullying because Angela's behavior is physically aggressive. She's taking John's property on purpose. It's also repeated behavior, and there's a power of imbalance of 2 against 1. John might not want to attend class anymore if this continues. And students, hopefully you can see that because, you know, John obviously was somewhat upset if he was threatening to tell, and that they do this every day. You know, it can make John not want to come to class. It can make him feel insecure and feel really down that these girls are picking on him. So there's a lot there. And I know y'all had a good discussion about that, or a couple of students participated, hopefully. We will go to the wrap up. Okay, so this is a great time for you students to continue talking, you know, especially when the lines are blurred, because it can be really hard to tell when someone's just joking or when it crosses a line. And also it can cross that line very quickly. 2 friends can be joking, and then one says a joke that crosses the line and the other person gets hurt. So it can happen between friends crossing lines, and absolutely can happen if there's an imbalance of power with one student that's constantly picking on one. I think we all can agree if someone's constantly shoving someone every day because of the clothes they wear, then that is severe bullying, and there will be punishment for that. So wrap up. Sometimes bullying is hard to recognize. How can you tell if it's crossing the line from joking to bullying? Now, I gave you a couple of examples, but students, hopefully y'all have a good discussion with your teachers here. You know, teachers, thank you so much for encouraging the students to speak up and speak out. We couldn't do this without the teachers. You know, I'm just filming this in my office this morning, but teachers, you're with the kids in the classrooms having these discussions. So we really appreciate it. And students, I want you to, you know, understand having these open talks allows us to grow as a community, it allows you to grow as an individual. So keep having these hard talks. If there's anything else y'all want to talk about or need, you know, you can scan the QR code in the classroom, fill out that form, and then I'll be able to have a little one-on-one, or, you know, we'll be able to talk a little bit more about it. So students, I hope y'all have a great Tuesday. All right, I will see y'all out in the hallways. Keep your masks on, and have a good day.